Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of WRX Lap Attack. Our second Subaru of the series is once again painted in a New York Central inspired livery. Unlike the BRZ, however, instead of going for the cigar band livery of the 60s, we went for the old-fashioned lightning stripes that were the livery that was used, also appeared in the 60s, but it first appeared in the late 40s and 50s. See right here, we got the jade green, the two-tone silver with some white. I didn't really want to put any New York Central lettering or logos on here, but if I ever wanted to do the red oval, like what New York Central had before the logo changed in the 60s, I would pretty much just change the license plate, put a red oval in there, and a simple NYC. That's pretty much all I want to do. I also wanted to show you or give you a better look of my BRZ's livery. I mentioned that in the last episode, but I apologize, I forgot to show you. But we can do that really quickly before we start our run with the WRX. Let's see, my items. And then, here it is right here. Oh wait, preview. There we go. Now, I thought it would be appropriate to have my car next to an actual train, since the black and white was actually inspired by New York Central. But instead of NYC, I just put down the word Subaru on the sides, as well as the logo on the hood. It looks just like what New York Central had with the white oval and the black rectangle. But instead of New York Central, I simply put the word Subaru in the middle of the rectangle. Now that I'm done showing you the two liveries inspired by famous trains, at least in my country anyway. I don't know of anyone else in Europe or Asia or every other country. Maybe Canada. I know New York Central ran in Canada as well, but I doubt anyone else outside of the United States would care. Now we're just going to enjoy this beautiful song with its harmonica and other instruments as we get the route ready. 1735, which of course is military time for 5:35, but it's actually close to 7:35 p.m. in civilian time. It's funny, they say military time, and yet you can still see that system used in racing games like this, or railroad simulators like Dovetail Games' Train Simulator. Now, before we begin, there's one last thing I wanted to show you. Our Subaru BRZ got a time of 5:40, and the top speed on that car was at 199. We still got to hit 200 for a moment. I think 201 was actually the fastest as we went down the hill. But other than that, most of the run was just short of the 200 mark. We have more weight as well as more horsepower than the BRZ, so hopefully the weight won't affect us too much. We can get a better time, and I doubt we're going to beat most of the cars, but I want to at least try to get almost said a bed, but ahead of the BRZ. I remember in Gran Turismo Sport, you got a random car for free as your beginning car, and I got very lucky because this was my starter car. And back then, I just had it in blue, but I would, however, put New York Central liveries on the older Imprezas from the 90s. I had two different versions. There was a two-door and then a sedan, and I think both of the Imprezas were 98s. Well, looks like we're approaching the hill, and yet we have not reached 200. But that might change, because remember, not only do we increase our speed once we reach the bottom of the hill or start going down, but when we get on the other straightaway after making the long left turn, I don't know what it is about that side of the track, but something about it makes us go faster. Perhaps because it's a little bit more downgrade than this side, but whatever it is, I'm grateful for it. You know, this is such a fine car. I really like this thing very much. Not just because of the New York Central livery, but something about Subarus. They're a lot of fun to drive in general. There's a reason why it's been one of the most popular rallycross cars for probably more than 3 decades. Might have been more, but I know it really started to get popular in the 90s with a Scottish driver called Colin McRae. At least I think that's what his name is. And I might have already mentioned this in the last episode when I was driving the BRZ, so if this sounds a bit too repetitive, I apologize. But yeah, Colin McRae, a Scottish race car driver, he did really good with these cars. And maybe because it is of the New York Central livery, but there's another song I want to play for you. You might have heard this from a Green Frog program called New York Central Odyssey. They did 2 of those, of course. But many of you might know this really beautiful jazz song. Maybe some of you don't. If you enjoy jazz, I'm sure you'll enjoy this very much. As soon as we get off the curve here, I'm going to unplug my mic, let you enjoy the majesty of this song, as well as the Subaru itself. We are going a little faster. We're at 203. I don't know if we can increase the speed. Any amount will do. I mean, as long as we can try and go a little faster. There we go. And who knows? Maybe the car will enjoy the music as well and get inspired to go even more faster. Now I'm going to unplug my mic and let you enjoy everything there is to see and listen. And now that I plugged my headset back into my controller, let's take a look at the rank or board and see how we did. I knew that the BRZ or the WRX wasn't going to get a high spot, but it looks like we were 5 seconds faster than the BRZ. The only two cars slower than this duo are the 78 Firebird and the Mazda Demio. I don't know why I just had to sneeze there, but thanks for joining me, and we'll be going back to a couple of other Mazdas in future episodes. Hope you'll stick around with me and see those episodes when they come out. Take care, and thanks again for watching.